Hey, what's up, everybody? I wonder how loud that plane sounds. I'm gonna have to check that when I review this video. But I used to live in Swanee for over 15 years, and then recently moved to the south side, closer to the airport. So when I travel, it'll be easier for me to get in and out, you know. So now I'm on the south side of Atlanta, and unfortunately, a lot of planes fly by this area. It doesn't really bother me, but of course that may impact this video a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't. Out here laying in the grass, grounding a little bit, relaxing, and I was thinking about a conversation I had with a family member a few months ago. So this one's for the young men. Tips for the young men, because I heard it's not a game out there right now as far as trying to meet young ladies and find someone solid to build with, have a relationship with. And so let me start with number one. I made a little list. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, young dudes. First of all, here's another plane. Again, hopefully it's not too loud. But first of all, you have to leave the house. Initially, I kind of think it's a numbers game, although it will boil down to quality. But if you're just DMing people, meeting women through Instagram, X, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. I know the young folks don't really use Facebook. That's usually Gen X and up. But if you're just meeting them online, man, it's tough. You know, you can't really judge how she walks, a person's mannerisms, how their voice sounds. I know people FaceTime and stuff like that, but how they smell, eye contact is critical. How she's even looking at you. Pictures and things online can hide a lot of qualities about a person. Initially, you know, you meet them in person, you could tell a lot about a person by meeting them in person, even non-verbally. So that's my first tip. Get out the house, talk to them, you know, meet somebody like that. Number two, get the number. I see a lot of people, I've been around people that when they meet somebody, oh, what's your IG? I thought that was cool when I first started seeing that. But no, get the phone number. Act like you don't even know if the person has an Instagram page or not. You know, just keep it on the conversation level. If you start looking at their pictures and liking and giving them that dopamine like that, you know, to me, you just fall in with the rest of the other 100 people that woman has met. So try to be different, you know, don't overextend yourself. Number three, as you're starting to, you know, converse with this person, or may have gone out on a date or two, stop with the slang, please. A woman knows just by talking to you or meeting you the first time or the first few times whether you're cool or not, quote unquote. You don't need to be extra. And I'm particularly kind of talking to African Americans right now. I'm not sure if European guys do this too, but the slang is just so corny. You know what I mean? Or when you coming through, or you understand? Yeah, I'm just trying to vibe. I can't even think of some slang right now, so, but you know what I mean. Stop with the slang. Once that person gets to know you, I think you can become more casual. You know, you never want to put up a front, of course. But when you're talking to a young lady, just be yourself, you know. Be normal. Number 4. This is kind of like a watch out for. If you meet this young lady and she's already starting to call you daddy, or she's asking you for money, like within the first week, 2 week, month, 2 months that you met the person, keep it moving. That's bird talk, you know. She's done that before. She's used to doing that. You know, no disrespect to Atlanta. I don't know if it's an Atlanta thing. But the young gents I interact with, they tell me they get that a lot. To me, that's an immediate red flag. Tell her to keep it moving. A real woman, if she wants to get to know you, she's not asking you for money. She's already got her thing going on. She's not gonna play herself like that. Number 5, once you get the number, don't call immediately. Like, I've heard some people call within the hour after you met somebody, after you exchange information. Don't even call that day. But call quickly, call rapidly, let them know, you know, you're interested, because if she's attractive, you are not the only one she met that day, or the day after, or the day after that, or the day before that. So, if she's walking around looking good and she's single, trust me, men are approaching her. So, don't take too long to call her, but don't be thirsty. Act like you have a life, or that you have responsibilities. Give her a little time to think about you. I even heard a woman say that too. You didn't even give me time to think about you. This was to another friend of mine. It wasn't to me. So yeah, don't call too soon, but don't take too long to call. But call first. That's another point. If she's calling you after you exchange numbers, women, don't do that. Don't call a guy first. But if she does call you first, that's not a red flag to me, but you already messed up. If you took so long to call where she had to call you first, to me that's a sign of how it's going to be further along in a relationship if y'all do start getting together. Honor that woman by reaching out to her first. Show desire. Women want to be desired. I heard a saying a while back, women want to be desired, men want to be loved. I don't know how true that is, but that's an interesting saying. Next one is kind of ties back into the last one, but don't go out of your way to break your normal routine when you meet somebody new. You shouldn't be tripping and racing all over town, or driving an hour or away, or trying to do too much to impress that person. Let them know you want to connect with them, but also let them know that you're not going to chase them. You don't have to say that, but your actions will let them know that. Nonverbal communication is always a good thing. Shout out to Bookman too. He just crossed my mind. He got back with his girl some months ago, maybe even last year, but they took some time off. Beautiful couple. Shout out to my son, Kamar, doing a long distance relationship right now. Takes a strong man and woman to do that. Next one is this is a very important one. I hear this from I've heard this from a couple of young coworkers, women, and but you don't want to do this as a young man. Like, everything's going well and you're talking and you're just too over the top with the sex talk. You're talking greasy right off the bat. That's a turn off. It just shows thirst. If you've been out with the person a couple times, a restaurant or a game or something like that, you don't have to talk greasy. My strategy back in the day was honestly let them bring it up. Your job as the man is to look good, smell good, pay for everything on the date. Flowers or whatever, old school. It's good to be old school. But talking about sex compliment them, their shape, their shoes, their face, their lips, compliment them. But talking about sex or asking about sex, that's just the corniest ever. Because every Joe Blow young dude does that, and it just reeks of desperation. You let them bring it up. You smell good, you look good, you be in control. Keep your car clean, keep your car on the inside and outside. Communicate well. Let them know you have a life. Let them observe you. Maybe touch their arms or shoulder, or, when you're walking into a door, wrap your arms, around their waist, lead them in. But don't be overly touchy-feely. And stop with the greasy talk. That's just corny. Like they say, the young dudes, when you score a touchdown, just get a ball to the ref. You don't need to do backflips like Tyreek Hill. Act like you've been there before. Don't act like this is your first date or you haven't had sex in 6 months or 2 years. It's just basic, Seems like people would understand that, but I've heard that's a problem. Next one is don't flood the person. Don't flood her. What I mean by that is you just met the person. Maybe y'all spoke a couple of times. Don't over text the person. Good morning, good night, WYD. What you doing? Because you can't keep that up. You want to be consistent. If you hitting them heavy, they call it love bombing. You hitting them heavy with the good morning, beautiful. Good morning, sexy. Good night. Hope you have a good night. How was your day? Stop. Because if you do wind up spending a lot of time with that person, are you going to be able to keep that up? Month 6, month 18, 2 years later, that also shows to me desperation. Like, you're waiting for them to see how long they're gonna text you back with that good morning text, or you're unsure of yourself. You want to see if they respond and how they respond. It's like you're throwing out a test. You're not really concerned about that. You're not really trying to shout them out just off GP, just off of being a kind person. To me, it's more like desperation. Of course, there's nothing wrong with a good morning text or have a great day type thing, but don't do that every day, and don't do it early on in a relationship. It shows thirst, and it smells desperate. Don't do that. I guess the last one here I mentioned is you got to get the friends to co-sign. This was always fun. If she likes you, if the woman likes you, she's gonna want to show you off. I think. First I was 100%, but then I thought about some of the things I've seen or heard from some people, from some women. It's like, nah, they want to keep their new guy away from their friends. You know, they want to keep it private for a while. But I think most young ladies, let me know in the comments, whether you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s. Shout out to all the single ladies in their 50s and 60s. Some people have had long relationships that just didn't work out. Some people have gotten divorced. There's a lot of divorces in the USA. Things just didn't work out. Some women never got married after high school or college, but they may have had a child or two. Shout out to them as well. There's no blueprint to this shit. Excuse my language. I told myself I'm not gonna curse in these videos. But yeah, back to that last one. Most women want their friends to see you and meet you. And fellas, you know, once the friends co-sign, like, girl, where did you meet him? Does he have any friends? When their single friends ask you, do you have any friends? Or do you have any brothers? Or something of that nature. That's a good sign. It's a good sign. That means they approve of you in person after meeting you. And they're approving their girlfriend for selecting you. You know, it's downhill from there. After the girlfriends co-sign you, you'll have to do a lot to screw that up from that point. I think that's it for just a few tips for the young fellas in their early 20s or early 30s. Men and women both seem to be staying to themselves longer, dating longer. Then you have a lot of them that have given up on dating overall, which I don't understand. I don't know, that red pill, blue pill. There's some movement with men where they're like, you know, forget women. You know, they're all money grubbing, bitter, you know, several names that they have for women. You know, I could see that. Social media has done a lot to men and women. I hear the stories. But I think there's just still some good people out there. So if you want a relationship, hopefully some of these tips have helped you or will help you. Life is short. I say that often. I've been saying that a lot lately. Just seeing a lot of. I was talking to my father a few weeks ago. It just seems since 2020, 2021, just a lot of deaths. So I think as humans, we were meant to be around one another, in groups, in families, in friendships. And I believe we were meant to be with, another person in a relationship. I was going to say the opposite sex, but maybe that doesn't resonate with everyone. So just meant to be with another person. I think you learn a lot about yourself in a relationship. And I will say relationship. I won't say marriage. Even though I'm married, I still, I have this conversation with my wife all the time. I still don't think we're meant to be with just one person for the rest of our lives. But I also don't believe you should be with 1,000 people or 200. I don't know. I don't think there's a number to it. But when you meet people off bat, you can tell. You can tell based upon the conversations. They say men can sense trauma in a woman, and I believe that. Sometimes a woman who's been through something keeps going through those same things because men can pick that up. But I think women can sense when a dude has been with 1,000 women. They don't want that. Women want an experience, man, but they don't want a man that's just been in the streets or that's for the streets. Same thing with a man, I don't think a man truly wants a virgin. I think that's something for the 1950s and the 60s generation. But, you want a woman with experience, but nobody, and I use this young term because I just been seeing a lot recently, nobody wants a 304, obviously. So, good luck to all you young men out there, man. There's a lot of still beautiful young women out there that are looking for good young men. I know it's not easy. There's a lot of choices you guys have. And if something goes wrong, one little argument, you can ghost that person easily and find somebody new. So I think when you can find somebody new so quickly without even having to go to a bar or party or a house party or a club or a conference or a networking event where you could just meet somebody, 50 people on your phone within 15 minutes. People tend to be short with when conflicts arise. So, but I'm not gonna drag that on. Get your grounding on. Touch grass. Continue to eat healthy. Smell fresh air. Get outside. Go out and meet people. Be grateful, and things will work out relationship-wise for you. Wish you the best. Peace.